Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with a wet Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, man, I would literally go crazy. And I mean that. I want to thank everyone who showed up for the tailgate today. Um, Extreme Archery, you just earned my respect because you are a Redskin fan who showed up first before any Cowboy fans. Guys, you know, Extreme Archery, I'll be honest with you, man. You guys could have won that game. But I'll go into that more detail. But the tailgate was incredible. Jim, welcome to the show. The only problem I had with the tailgate was I was cooking and I'm setting up everything. And there were so many of you guys there that have been fans of the Joe Boo Sports Report. And I wish I had planned it better so I could have spent more time with you guys, interacting with you, because I really would have loved to have talked to you guys more. But I was so worried about making sure everybody got something good to eat and something to drink. Now, you guys who were there, you had the Mojo Punch. And I tell you, I had these big pitchers right here. I made two of those. And I think I used 2 gallons of orange juice, a gallon of pineapple juice, two 2-liter bottles of 7 Up, and a couple of fifths of alcohol in there. And I've got to tell you, you guys were lit up. You know, when we got out there and we ended up spreading out the sign for the Tom Donnelly, I'm not sure what exactly I posted, but I've got a lot of stuff that I want to add to it. We had a great time. And this, unfortunately, has given me the bug to want to continue to do this because I told you guys off season last year after going to Philadelphia and doing the draft how cool it was to meet you guys and spend time with you. This was an incredible experience. I'm only scratched the surface of what we can do, but it's going to be incredible. Um, Forgive me because everybody came up and said, "Man, I emailed you and everything else." There were so many people that emailed me. I'm a name butcher. I remember faces. I'm terrible with names. Uh, yeah. Um, the guy who came from New Jersey has his Jobu T-shirt on underneath and brought the tarp and everything else. Dude, thank you so much for coming, being part of it. It was great meeting your mom. She was fantastic. Hope you guys had a good time. I know I had a fantastic time. And it was great interacting with other people. We had some Redskin fans are right next to us. And I ended up, he had his little barbecue grill and stuff. I said, "Man, come on over and get some wings and stuff in there and have some punch and stuff." And it was great. We pulled fans from all over the place. We had CJ Richardson come through there. CJ was incredible. Great guy. We had Scooter Magruder came there right as I was getting set up. Unfortunately, I didn't get to interact with him as much as I'd like, but I did get a bit. Did I get Joe Boo? Yeah, I did get Joe Boo with Scooter Magruder. So Scooter Magruder, or if anybody who has contact with Scooter Magruder, tell him I said thank you for showing up and everything else. And next time I'll be more prepared when he comes through there. But we had a freaking ball, and the football gods at least held the rain off while we were doing the tailgate because everybody wasn't fitting underneath the 2 tents. We just had that many people. So I definitely want to do this stuff more. I'm going to keep working on getting that Joe Boo's mobile man cave tailgating vehicle together. That is going to be my dream, and I'm going to make it happen because I want to meet each and every one of you guys, have some Mojo Punch and some pork sliders and things and have a good time. And if anybody is taking pictures and put it on Facebook, please tag me because I definitely want to see the stuff because I was so busy doing that stuff. But I'll get it together next time. I'll get one of you Joe Boo fans out there to help me out if that's possible. But I got to tell you, I honestly am getting worried. I'm actually getting kind of scared now. I'm fearful for Joe Boo. See, we've been through this with the New York Giants. Joe Boo's not welcome in New York. They literally have banned him from the training facilities with the Giants. And I'm afraid now that the Dallas Cowboys own FedEx Field. That is 5 times in a row that the Dallas Cowboys have beat the Washington stinking Redskins at FedEx Field. 5 times. 4 of those games, Joe Boo's been there. That's right. 4 years in a row, Joe Boo has been there. And I'm afraid living here outside of Washington, D.C., I'm not that hard to find. I'm afraid that there might be a hit out for Joe Boo. Space Cowboy. Man, see, Space Cowboy, hey, I'm glad you got home safe and sound, buddy. Man, that was an incredible game. I couldn't believe that we got Scooter Magruder and all the people, and especially you, Space Cowboy. We got you there. That was incredible. I can't wait to do that again. The Simmons family, how you doing tonight? Armando Lopez, hey man, what's going on? David Hawk, how about them Cowboys? Extreme Archery. Um, I'll be honest with you. I was scared at the game. When Sean Lee went out, I was worried. First of all, I said, did Sean Lee hurt that leg? No, actually, his shoe ripped. I thought Sean Lee hurt himself, and that's why he was out. Because the Redskins, without Sean Lee in there, boom, 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 boom. Jalen Smith was getting turned all which other direction and not making tackles and stuff. And I was like, oh shit. If Sean Lee is gone, the season is over. If the Redskins score this field goal or a touchdown, I'm afraid that the route could be on. But you talk about turnovers, and that's the thing I say, you guys, man. Turnovers are gold when it comes to football. It makes all the difference in the world. When Switzer fumbled the ball against the Rams on that kick return, it was a momentum changer that put the Rams back in the game and changed the game. If the Redskins had scored there, I'm afraid that the Cowboys would have lost that game. The fact that they ended up blocking that field goal and returning it the way they did swung the momentum, and all of a sudden they got on a roll, and we just kept going. The thing that drove me crazy, of course, in that game, penalties, and it's hard to tell. I can't see. They're not doing all the replays and stuff, and they're like you're seeing at home. It's one of the disadvantages of being out there. If they were legitimate holding calls, but for a while there, it was just like penalty after penalty. Every time we seemed to make a little bit of headway, get another penalty, get another penalty. It's like, okay, what referees do we have out here right now? Because it seems like they're kind of getting hit a lot harder than the Washington Redskins. At one point, I think we had about 8 penalties to 1 for the Redskins. They finally got a few going down the stretch there, but it kind of bothered me there that we were having those penalties. But what you have to feel great about is DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law, Tank Lawrence, who now has a sack in 7 straight games, and he is joining an elite club of guys that have had a sack each of 7 games. It's unbelievable what he's doing right now. And David Irving. The fact that we have 4 sacks again today. We have 25 sacks in 7 games. It was ugly. Cowboy 42. I'm going to tell you, it was ugly. Some of that was the weather. You don't get the feel of how much it's raining when you're at home, but that second half, the rain was really coming down. It was coming down so hard that I was worried because my phone, I would try and plug in the charger because I was pretty much dead. And it kept saying that the port is wet, can't charge, and everything else. I had my poncho on, but my pants legs were completely soaked. And I've got my regular camera up underneath here, so I'm trying to snap pictures. And I know I've got some great pictures. That shot of when Zeke went to the house there, his first touchdown. I got a picture of that. You can see the hole, and you can see Z running for the daylight, and I can't wait to blow that up. I've got to actually download all those pictures and stuff. I got so much stuff to do, but it's crazy. So you got to feel good about the pass rush. You got to feel good about Zeke Elliott getting all those yards, although we've got the hearing tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what still bothers me, besides Joe Boo's going to get a hit put on him by some crazy Redskin fan, or maybe somebody tries to torch my house or something, because like I said, I'm not too hard to find. You know how some of those football fans can be from the Redskins. A little. Okay. What I'm worried about is, why the hell does Jeff Heath play so much? Seriously. Why does Jeff Heath continue to be out there constantly? Because Jeff Heath, I like him. I got nothing against him personally, but generally speaking, when you think of a safety, you think of a guy whose eyes are looking upfield at what's coming at him, and he is going to the ball and making a play going in that direction towards the line of scrimmage. But it seems like too many times I see Jeff Heath running up and then having to turn and chase guys from behind. He gets in coverage and wide receivers just go past him. It's almost like we're waiting for the second coming of Charlie Waters and thinking that Jeff Heath's going to be that guy. I'm sorry. He's not that guy. You can put him out there till the cows come home. You got what you got with Jeff Heath. It's time to say Xavier Woods. I don't know why Xavier's not out. I'd rather see Xavier Woods making mistakes at full speed and having a chance than watching Jeff Heath. I'm just looking and constantly. DJ Crown, thank you very much.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Anthony, hey, DJ Cowboy, thank you very much. Anthony Brown, definitely sophomore slump. Dak Prescott isn't having the sophomore slump. But yeah, it happens. He'll be okay. I think part of the problem with our secondary too is there's so much change, and we continually to keep changing up the lineup. We have yet to really play with these guys together cohesively. You know, one week we're thinking about a Woozy starting, and then he gets his hamstring again, and then boom, now all of a sudden he's out. So you can't. It takes time to gel. And that's one of the reasons why I say you got to be careful free agency. When you bring a whole lot of people in, they may have done great elsewhere, but it takes time for everybody to know what you're doing. When you get used to playing with somebody else, they know your tendencies. You can give a guy just kind of like a little look like that, and they'll know exactly what you mean. That means, you know what, I see something different. We're going to work this differently, and we're going to try and make a move and a play. But when you have young guys, and not consistently the same ones, then you're going to have all of this stuff that doesn't gel. Take a look at how Anthony Brown progressed last year as they worked more and more together, and by the end of the year, he was playing well. And that may still happen this year as well. I think they need time to be on the field together, game after game after game after game, consistently the same lineups, without Jeff Heath. That bothers me that Jeff Heath is there as much as he is, because he's just not that guy. That worries me down the road. We should have done a little bit better than what we did with the Redskins being as beat up as they were, but you can throw the records. Thank you very much, Isaac.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Thank you very much, Isaac. I appreciate the super chat. All that's going to be going right back into the show. And oh, damn, I almost forgot. Joe Boo definitely earned his refill tonight. He definitely earned that refill. So get him his refill and feel good about this victory. Something else I wanted to touch on. Zeke Elliot was definitely eating, definitely running like a man. Hopefully tomorrow we'll find out something good from court. The NFL's got their heavy hitters as far as attorneys go. Zeke Elliott will be there tomorrow in court, and he's basically saying he's hoping that his attorneys come up with some stuff, and he trusts them. We'll just have to wait and see what happens on it. Hope for the best, expect the worst, and you'll never be disappointed. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart here, guys. It's been a long day. I was so busy trying to take care of everybody else that I literally didn't eat. It's crazy. I literally didn't eat at my own tailgate. And once we got in the stadium, it was literally, we went down to our seats, and the whole time I'm taking pictures and doing stuff and trying to do everything. So I'm a little bit kind of tired, a little bit kind of hungry. So my brain is just kind of like, okay, it's time to shut down. But I wanted to make sure I came on here tonight to just kind of give you my post-game thoughts. Too many penalties. Zeke running like a madman. We've got, of course, the hearing tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see with David Irving kind of protesting some more.
He's trying to get kicked off the team.
If Jerry Jones, now that he's got another sack on top of it and basically being better numbers than Aaron Donald at the moment, if Jerry Jones does anything on that.
But
Because
the question is after the national anthem.
Well,
so he might not do anything because after the national anthem.
Yeah, that might be his out. But, DeMontre Moore is gone. As much as the Cowboys say it wasn't because of anthem protests, it was other stuff off the field. But
because he got in trouble for something else too.
But we'll have to wait and see what it is on there. And I'm trying to remember what that other thing was. Let me see. I thought I put a few notes in here. Like I said, forgive me. I'm a name butcher. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired.
Dallas Nutt had a half sack.
Oh, interesting. Actually, Drew Davidson is actually just saying, sorry, got an alert here, that Zeke Elliot is quoted as saying that we're confident that I'll be on the field for the rest of the year. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve for tomorrow. That's going to be a big hearing. The question I have, and we were talking about this, this is great, and I wish that my phone had some power on it when we were driving back, because Clarence, thank you. Clarence actually met him when I was actually mailing out some Jobu t-shirts. He pulled up with his daughter in the car and stuff and said, "Hey, you're Mark Holmes," and stuff. And we ended up becoming friends. He brought this New York stinking Giant fan who's actually cool people. Shout out to him because, I think he could be a closet Cowboy fan because he said he had a great time. But I think he's worried because all his friends that are Giants fans, so he can't go full Dallas. I think he'll be an undercover Dallas fan. But we were having a great conversation about what were we talking? God, I lost it just talking about New York. Well, we were talking about how bad Eli is and how they basically need to blow the whole team up and start all over. But we're having a great conversation, and I can't remember what because I think I'm just out of it right now. Am I going to do? Yes, Jack. Actually, well, I was going to have him on tonight, but I got home a lot later. So Cowboys Nation, he came over, great guy, helped me out with the tailgate and everything else. I'm going to try and actually have him on tomorrow night so we can talk about the game and stuff and things that he saw. Great guy, actually not very far from me, so we'll definitely be doing some things together. But Zeke Elliott was running like it really meant something. And so the fact that tomorrow he's got his heavy hitters, the NFL's got their heavy hitters, something going to happen. Now the thing, this is what we're talking about. That worries me about this thing is this. We're not going to get an answer tomorrow from the hearing. We're not going to get an answer. So, they're going to hear both sides of the argument. Then they're going to have to, deliberate about it. They're going to have to come up with whatever ruling. It may end up being next week for all we know. It might be tomorrow, but I doubt that. And if that's the case, then okay, he plays Kansas City, and then possibly they come back and say, okay, we deny it, and then, it just keeps kicking it down the road. I wish there was some way or the other that it could just be finally resolved, so it's like, okay, you're going to have to sit. This thing of getting kicked and kicked and kicked, I'm worried about it getting kicked, that the Cowboys now 4-3, Kansas City is beatable, Atlanta is beatable. You start looking at some of these games that you say, okay, this team could be a playoff team. What happens if we lose them for the playoffs?
The Eagles are beatable too.
Well, they're beatable. Yes, the Eagles are beatable, but they've got such a big lead, it's going to be difficult. Gary, I agree with you that Des needs to get open.
The Eagles went 0-3 to start that game for the first half.
Yeah, but
to the second half.
Okay, but
the first quarter to the second quarter.
Teams sometimes start out slow, but yeah, they came on like gangbusters the second half.
Towards the second half.
Yeah, that's Michael talking. He's much better now that he's had a shower and warmed up some because he was getting cold there and getting. I was looking for a Snickers bar because he seemed like he was getting hangry there for a minute. Okay, but it was cold. I'm just trying to understand how the Redskin cheerleaders. I'm giving them a shout out. In fact, I'm giving a game ball to the Redskin cheerleaders who were out there basically in glorified bathing suits, bikinis, the whole time in the rain. I mean, the hair is just done. I was freezing my behind off. I had a couple of shirts on, a jacket, poncho. I was cold. Hey, Redskin cheerleaders, props out to you girls because you guys did it up. I mean, I just want to say, even though you're the enemy, hey, this buzz for you. Um, so the question is, with Zeke Elliott, what's going to happen? I just want this thing done. I just want to know, okay, he's got to sit out the next 6, and that's it. Or, okay, we're just going to wait till the end of the season. Just some way resolve. It's not doing any good week to week to week to week, day to day to day. It's just changing like crazy. Watching him warm up, there were literally 4 cameras around him as he's stretching. And I believe that part of that might have been what led to that first fumble. Because it doesn't matter where he goes. It used to be that you're on the field, that's your sanctuary, regardless of what's happening out there. You got NFL Network, ESPN, all these cameras are right there as you're just stretching in his face, and they're talking about it. And they're talking about you. And I got to think that that's still affecting him. Um, Jared, this whole Zeke Elliott situation, it's an uncharted territory. Nobody knows what the heck's going to happen with this thing. This thing has been crazy. The NFL thought for sure that he was going to be suspended and done and over with and everything else, but yet here it is. They're still fighting it. I think eventually, unfortunately, the NFL is going to win. And I got to be honest with you. I'm fearful of 2021. At least we've got a few years before we get there. It's going to be ugly in 2021. The NFLPA screwed up by giving all that power to the NFL to get the deal that they wanted. They're going to go hell bent on trying to get that back. And the NFL does not want to release that power. There's going to be a lockout or there's going to be a strike, one way or the other. Everybody's going to be out, and it's going to be a waiting game. I don't know if we're going to see scabs or whatever, but it's going to get ugly. This whole thing lets you know it's going to get ugly. The NFL, to me, has no case. They have no standing. They have no credibility on this with all the stuff of their own people. Not even just talking about Zeke Elliott denying it. Their own people say you are in the wrong, but yet they are still hell bent on going in it. Zeke Elliott's not costing them any money. They're not losing anything if Zeke Elliott plays. What do you think is going to happen when they're talking about renegotiating and losing money? If they're going this hard after Zeke Elliott for a BS case, what do you think it's going to be like when they're going after some money? It's going to get nasty. So I worry about the NFL in 2021 and hope that it doesn't have the hit that baseball had back in the when they had their strike years ago. It's going to get ugly. Dak is 19th.
Basketball had their strike a couple of years ago too,
Yeah.
and they had to delay the season.
Do I think Dak needs a stronger arm? I don't think his arm is a problem. I think part of the problem is I don't want to say this because I don't want to believe it, but Des Bryant is not the receiver that he used to be. He does not get separation like he used to. And it's kind of frustrating because we need to have a guy who can get open deep so that way we can launch the ball down there for him. In fact, we're not getting a lot of separation with a bunch of these guys. I don't think Dak's arm is necessarily the problem. We just have to get more creative. One of my other pet peeves on this is we don't seem to use the weapons that we have the way we are most effective. You need to use Dak Prescott out of the pocket more. Dak Prescott, you do the play action act. When you start getting Zeke Elliott running the way he's running, teams are trying to key on wherever he goes. You got to keep rolling Dak out. Dak is deadly. Either read option them to roll them out and let them run, or roll them out and keep getting these guys wide open. Because I don't think it failed. I don't think there was one rollout that they did today that they were able to stop. And some of those third and long, don't get me started when we were down, I think on the 25-yard line or so. It was 2nd and 14, and we just did this like a straight dive for 3 yards. And I'm thinking, why aren't you trying to go ahead and roll out here? You have the ball on the hash mark. You roll out to the longer side, away from, over there, and you let Dak either run it or go ahead and do a quick pass. You've got to keep throwing those curveballs in there enough to keep them guessing, and that's where we started kind of getting bogged down and having to settle for field goals. So we still need to work on that play call. I still am not sold on the defense, the Tampa 2. I don't want to say Rod Martinelli's defense is done, but we do too much giving space to guys. I'm sitting here seeing the cornerbacks 10 yards, 10 freaking yards off the receivers. Free releases. I hate that. I hate it. I want to see a guy get hit, knocked off his route, mess up his timing. Don't give the quarterback a quick 5-yard flick, because that's what it seems like we're doing a lot of. And then Heath drive me crazy. Duncan, I agree with you. Rod Martinelli, here's the thing. Rod Martinelli has always gotten the most out of defensive linemen. And when you look at what we're doing right now with the defensive line, love having him as a defensive line coach, but I think we need a new philosophy on defense. Nick, I literally left the stadium, stuck in traffic, came home, unloaded the truck, took a shower, and came down here. So I haven't seen the headlines and stuff. I was hearing that Dez was having a fit on the sideline. Don't know exactly what happened. We do know Dez Bryant is emotional, and of course, everybody always jumps to the conclusion that Dez is pissed off and cussing people out. When we found out about him and Tony Romo, that he was actually out there trying to motivate and everything else. So before we jump to any conclusions, let's wait and get the whole story. Well, you might be right on that, Thomas. Dez is a $17 million cap hit. He is actually the biggest cap hit on the team. And he's going to need to play a whole lot better than what he is, I think, to be back. I have to say that you're right on that one. Oh, he and Dak got in each other's faces. Okay, I didn't see that. Derek Carr sucks. Yeah, so much for the big marquee game of Cowboys versus Raiders, isn't it? Good night, Jag the Joker. I got no problem with Dak. Dak is doing everything he needs to do for the team to win. Attention, Dez, get open. That's the thing to do. Dak is never wrong, no matter how many times. Okay. Dez was telling Dak Linehan that he's calling, and he was calling out the defensive coverage. Okay. Well, thank you, Eagle fan. Congrats on the win yourself there, buddy. Matt, what's up? What's up, the Dallas Cowboys? We got a victory. Yeah, Taco almost had a pick. He almost had a tackle, too, there. Too. I actually took some pictures of Taco. I was like, oh, my God, that's a Taco sighting. Yo, Boyle, it was one of those, sometimes you get officials that just call things a lot tighter than other ones do. Okay. And the way that game was going tonight, the weather was terrible. So you kind of understand. Damon Webster, love your channel. Now shout out to me. Oh, so shout me out. Okay, Damon, thank you for joining the channel. Hope you subscribe. I'm getting close to 15,000, and see, maybe you're the one who'll put me over. Lightning Plumber, love you too. Um, Robert, hey, Dak is not. There's no quarterback out there who's perfect, but I'll take a quarterback that doesn't turn over the ball, that is can play, above and beyond what's expected of a fourth round draft pick. Definitely a smart, can take a hit and can get up, because there's a lot of quarterbacks that take one shot and they're gone. Thomas, you're right. We do need to call Dez out for not getting open sometimes, because he's not getting. It's not like Dez is like sitting there all by himself. Dez has always got somebody within a step or two of him. Everybody's is messing with poor Taco. Dennis Foster, David Irvin definitely is a beast. I like to call him Eclipse, because it seems like when he gets in there, even when he doesn't get to the quarterback, when he gets those arms up there, he is still an opposable force. Andrew, I did spend a good chunk of change and stuff, but you great fans, a lot of you guys donated and helped out, and all the people who have done super chats. So it's all, you know, basically earned from here. And even if it wasn't from here, for me, it was one of the greatest events that I've done. It was one of those things that I will always remember, meeting people, and being there at FedEx Field, and literally we got a whole group of us all together, and we're all screaming, "How about them Cowboys?" for the game. So for me, it was worth every penny that we spent, all the time that I spent working on this stuff, the lack of sleep. I will do it again in a heartbeat. Should we trade for a wideout? At this point, I wouldn't. We've been down that route before, trading for a wide receiver, a la Roy Williams from Detroit Lions, giving up 2 first-round draft picks. So, how many total sacks? Right now, we had 4 today, and we have 25 on the season. A far cry from just a couple of years ago when we only had like 29 for the season. Yeah, Cooper can actually throw the ball, as opposed to whom? Um, it really, Robert, I'm trying to understand how Dak has 17 wins in 1.5 years, seasons. Went to the playoffs the first year. Hasn't missed any time for injuries. Gets paid basically peanuts. Um, doesn't cause any problems off the field, in the locker room, or anything else. But yet he does get a whole lot of hate. I can't understand it myself. And I guess unless you're throwing for 500 yards and 3 touchdown passes every week, you're not considered jack crap in some people's eyes. I just don't know. Andrew, believe it or not, no skin fans. I did not see a fight at all. I mean, I got a few "fuck you Cowboys," but no fights. Nobody picking anything up. The vehicle wasn't destroyed. In fact, I invited a few skin fans over to Tailgate. Have some wings and some Mojo Punch. So no, it was all good. Greetings from Texas. Well, thank you. I'm sorry, that just flew past too quick. Um, oh yeah, everybody's definitely on Carson Wentz's wagon, but that's all good. Well, True Kennedy, you know what? I'll take the win. How about that? It amazes me how we get wins and some people are just pissed off. Oh, we didn't win big enough. You know what? It's the NFL. A win is a win. At the end of the season, they count a win by 1 point the same as they do a win by 50 points. We got to win on the road in bad weather in our division. Why can't we be happy about that at least for an hour or two? Oh my God, everybody's ripping Dez Bryant apart. People are ripping Dak Prescott apart. We probably would have gotten 45 points if we didn't have all the damn holding calls that we had. How about that? How about we would have probably had a whole lot more points had we not turned over the ball? How about that?
A holding penalty.
Okay.
A holding penalty.
Yeah, and how about if we had some better play calling that maybe we'd have a few more points? How about that? Why is it everybody is just saying Dak overthrew Dez Bryant a couple of times, and that's why we didn't score 45 points? Why don't you take the whole
What about
totality of everything in the situation?
penalties?
Oh, Shannon Sharp has to eat crow tomorrow. Go, that'll be great.
Penalties.
Yeah, David Irving is definitely a war daddy. We are blessed to have that guy. Well, thank you, Francis. Definitely, I'm going to be coming to AT&T sometime. I'm hoping in November, or if not, it'll be December, or maybe for playoffs. Or playoffs? Did you say playoffs? Definitely. Well, I got to tell you, we own FedEx Field too. They need to rename that place.
Washington.
Yeah, I think actually, Kennedy, you have something there with Tyron Smith. Excuse me. He's not practicing like you want him to be able to practice, and you don't know if they're shooting him up to be able to play in games. But I think that may lead to some of the holding calls that he has because he can't move the way he would like to.
What's called that touchdown from Zeke bad? That Tyron Smith.
The lone Giants fan and the Mojo punches while we won. As long as we get the win, I don't care what it was. Okay, True Kennedy, we got it. Your whole thing is Dak Prescott is overthrowing Dez. Well, Dez is so close to being covered that if you throw it right where he is, chances are a lot of those might get picked off. So he's trying to stretch the field and hoping that Dez can run underneath of it, but I don't think Dez has the legs anymore to be able to run under it like he used to. Wow, okay. How do I like Jalen? Okay. Here's my observation. Michael popped up on that.
He got a sack and then almost
Here's the thing with Jalen. Jalen can move forward. Jalen can move really well straight ahead. But the problem is he cannot cut and he cannot go change of direction backwards. When Sean Lee went out, and I was fearful that Sean Lee re-injured the hamstring, but it was really his shoe just literally disintegrated because he's that quick. The defense and the linebacking core could not bust a grape. Jalen Smith missed tackles. Jalen Smith is like left and right chasing guys and doing shoestring tackles instead of meeting force on force. But if Jalen Smith is set on a stunt and he knows where he has to go and it's straight ahead, boom, he gets there. But his body is not there where he's going to be able to read and react and be able to move around to make a play. So you have to use him correctly, bringing him in for passing situations where you're using him to blitz and get upfield. That's the way you got to use him because he cannot go backwards. Michael's over here.
I mean, he had an interception. Called back.
He had an interception. He did it again.
And Taco had
he was in the middle of the field. He wasn't covering anybody.
Yeah, but Taco had one too and got called back.
Well, yeah. True.
But he did get that sack, the half a sack.
Anyone know how to snap? I'll be honest with you. I do not know how to do that from that. So, Libra, you just hate Dak Prescott for whatever. You definitely just do not like him.
Wasn't Dak Prescott
Okay, well, True Kennedy. All right, so you don't like Dak Prescott either. Okay.
Tyrone had already moved on.
Dennis Smith, here's the problem with trading for somebody right now. One, you're giving a pick. Two, you're not going to get that much production from somebody right now. It takes time to.
Deadline
It's this week.
Alright.
Joe Gomez or Gamez, you hit the nail on the head with Jeff Heath. He is not an NFL starter by any stretch of the imagination, but he's out there.
Player to begin with. That's just Hoffman not even good, man.
The lone giant fan that was with us today. Okay. Libra is an idiot. Okay. Joe, without a doubt, our pass rush is our strength truly in there, and that's why you want to keep teams having to be in passing situations. I know that sounds crazy, but you want to get them to the point where we can sell out in pass rush. We need to go ahead and do a few blitzes here and there because you go ahead and have the offensive line worried about David Irving, worried about DeMarcus Lawrence, worried about Tyron Crawford and things. And then you throw a linebacker in there like you did with Jalen Smith. All of a sudden, there's going to be a mismatch. Somebody's going to run free. Yes, Dave L. The Eagles are 7-1.
Yeah, we'd like to hear tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're gonna hear from. We're gonna see the Eagle guy going crazy tomorrow. Yeah, it is what it is.
At least we got him.
We are starting to roll Dak as the best quarterback in the East. All right. Ricky of the storm is coming. That's why it rained tonight. Yeah. FedEx Field is Jerry rolled East. There you go. Thank God our kicker that we picked up is pretty good. Well, he did miss one early.
He's better than Folk.
Why did Switzer take it? You know what? I was wondering that one myself because that was literally like right straight in front of us because we were about on the 16-yard line, and I guess he figured, I better not risk us losing this ball. I'll go ahead and take this knee and make sure we have a race here. Forgive me, guys. I'm sorry about the yawn. Jason, I actually beg to differ because David Irving, it'll be a restricted free agent, and worst comes to worst, DeMarcus Lawrence, you could tag. We have $14 million in cap room, and I hate to say that I think Tyrone Crawford will probably not be a Cowboy next year. He'll become expendable with his $10 million hit that we have. And you can make deals that are team friendly where you kind of front load the bonus and basically kick a lot of that money down the pike. Well, Cowboy 60, you might not know about Switzer, but you're going to find out because Cole Beasley got a concussion, so he might be out a game or two, or who knows. Oh, okay. But, it's funny. I've got some. I'm going to have to keep them clips because when we thought we had interceptions, we had Joe Boo going, oh, that's a game changer and everything else. And this Redskin fan who was right next to me kind of tapped and said, they called it back. I was like, oh, okay. So I'll definitely have to say that. Can Rico come back next week? No, Rico can't play till after week 8.
That's next week.
I mean, after our 8th game, right? Yeah, or week 8, yeah.
That's next week.
Oh, Chris, I got to tell you, I'm hoping we do with the. I'm sick of the Eagles. Jeez, I'm sick of them.
I think that's next week. No.
Well, Goldston, some people, yeah, our defense only get 49 yards rushing, but Some people just aren't happy. I live in Northern Virginia, outside DC, and I was born and raised here. So yeah, I've been sticking it to the Washington Redskins since the day I was born. Rico, Rico, Rico. Yeah, I can't wait to see him come back. Should we trade Cole Beasley? Yeah, no, I don't think you trade Cole Beasley, although that's the rumor that's been out.
I mean, he's injured now, so you can trade him.
Dez in the first round. Yeah, good luck with that one, Drew Kennedy. Dez in a first round pick for Julio Jones. Okay. Still don't think that would happen. Um, Nick, oh man. You know, my pet peeve with Jason Garrett, every time I'm there watching the team warm up, he's out there throwing the pass. And it's just, to me, it's just something that bothers me. That,
He got better than
but he seemed like he was a little bit more motivated. I didn't see him clapping other than, clapping the guys as they came out onto the field to begin the game. So I don't know. I don't even want to talk about Jason Garrett tonight. Please, just don't make me do that.
Oh,
Oh, Bradley, I did actually talk about that. That was a game changer. I'm telling you, Bradley, the blocked field goal and return was the momentum changer, because I'll be honest, because the Cowboys all of a sudden just looked like they were losing that game. And I was afraid that if the Redskins had scored a touchdown on that drive, or a field goal, that I thought the team was just going to fall apart. Um, Rico guys will be getting back soon, yes.
I mean, fourth time he's going to go.
We need Tony back, really?
Moved on to Mike.
Snap Johnson, I'm sorry. I don't know how you do it mobile wise. I know how to do it desktop wise. It's easy, but don't know how to do it mobile. But I appreciate the thought. Oh, okay. So 23 beautiful Aries. Yeah, you got jokes tonight. That's cool. Um, we should trade Zeke for Landon Collins. Come on, man. You could try and trade Dez, but you're not going to get that much for Dez right now. I mean, you're going to get maybe a fifth or sixth round pick. I mean, excuse me, a fifth or maybe a fourth, but you're not getting that much this much. Um, mm, Definitely going to be a big game next week with Kansas City. We definitely need that one. I mean, it's an AFC game, and it's not as important as our division games. I mean, wouldn't want to be the Washington Redskins, who have lost 3 games, all 3 of their games in the division. That really hurts. David, you are 100% right. But guys, it is freaking 11 o'clock. There's so many of you guys that are on here right now. I hate to leave, but I am tired. I have literally been just going gangbusters since Friday, and I think it's actually finally hit me. I will be here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. I want to thank everybody again who showed up for the live streams, for all the support on the channel, and everything that you guys do, making me work harder to try and be a better YouTuber. But right now, I actually need to get myself a little taste of something to eat, and I think I need to go to bed because I'm just kind of getting loopy. Um, yeah, Chris, I am. I think I finally come down from the whole weekend experience, and it was fantastic. I can't say thank you guys enough, because it was great, and it was worth all the work and everything that we went into doing it. And we're definitely going to be doing that soon. So, guys, as always, I want to thank you for all the support, everything that you've done, and I appreciate every bit of it. Everybody who showed up for the tailgate, thank you so much for being there, and thank all of you guys for being here right now. And I think I've said the same thing 3 or 4 times because I think I've just literally lost it. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night, and let's not be critical tonight. Let's be happy that we beat the stinking Washington Redskins. Have a good one.